And we are live. Welcome back, guys. We're here to talk about everyone's NRL fantasy teams. It's the important stuff. I'm just going to drop a message in here too and say now. So, yeah, it's the important stuff we're tearing in. We're going to jump into all the teams that were sent from 6 p.m. onwards first, and then we'll go through some of the older teams if we can there as well. So, let's just jump to the top here and find the most recent one. Now, if you haven't seen this before, you've been living under a rock, but basically what we do is we go through different people's fantasy teams, have a look at proposed trades, and then make recommendations based on the buy, hold, sells of the week. So, Vertigo, you're the first one there at 6 p.m. Let's tear into that in a sec, but who do we have in the house? Just drop a message if you're here, if you're hanging out, if you want to be part of this as well. The link is in the description there. It's the WAP you can use to get into that. Then you get access to this Rate My Team, Elite Coaches section, level 1, level 2, level 3. If everyone is on the gun or mid-ranger section, you get onto that private call later as well. Now, let's just quickly say, hey, Hunt for Damian. How you doing, man? I'm good. Still at camp right now. Still out in the bush, but I'll be back tomorrow and back to normal. So if there is anything dodgy reception-wise, let me know, but it should be okay. Good to see you, Aussie. Good to see you, Ramdog, as well. On that question, I would start Savala over Smith 100%. Mason, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Lockie here. Just wanted to say he's loving the content, mate. No worries. We're loving life. I do want Biz back, though. I miss Biz. It's so fun making content with Biz. So I know you guys miss him too, but I'm really missing having Biz back. He just makes it so much fun to do that buy, hold, sell video. But this one's a cracker. This one's super easy to do solo with you guys. Then Shaden, how you doing, man? John here as well. How you going? Nightman, what's up? He's Nightman. Oh, Dayman. Yes, I know you, Dayman. Greg Sweeney, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Let's go with Nathan. And there's a lot of love here. A lot of love. Just Vice Logs. How's it going, man? NRL Nas. I saw you said a few nice things yesterday in the live, so appreciate your kind words, mate. And Alua, I'm not going to read that one out, but trading JC, I'm going to Fletcher Sharp myself. Trey, love it too, man. Oh my God, I've just got to keep going. Yes, I'm loving it. What's up? Wish I could trade long into my team. That's ridiculous. Yeah, look, I mean, I scored well, right? If you want to see, back in the day, my scoring in fantasy was plenty of attacking stats there. Not a big defensive work rate, I'm going to be honest, which is funny because I was a back rower, but scored a lot of tries, had a lot of tackle breaks, offloads. And I was thinking about fantasy stats while I played too. So, yeah, super, super fun. John, appreciate that too. Look, guys, I love doing it. Thank you guys for jumping on as well. Again, I'm blessed to have you guys hanging out with me too. So, the fact that I get to do this as at least part of a job is absolutely crazy. So, love hanging out here. Let's get into these teams. Let's jump into it. And before I do jump in, Walsh, Teddy, or Paps, I prefer Fletcher Sharp, Scott Drinkwater, and Jacob Carraz over both of those guys. So, yeah, buy, hold, sell, I go through the wing fullbacks in a lot of detail, but that's where I'm thinking there. Now, let's turn to these teams here. We've got Vertigo first. So he's got a pretty solid-looking team here. Overall rank is rising there, about 1,200. I believe that's a bit of an improvement from last week for you. And then you got Campbell, Dewey, and Toa for Firma, Lucas, and Sharp. I can't say no to these trades. I really can't say no to them. The thing with these trades, though, I'm just going to bump myself down a bit there in size, so I'm not covering it. The thing with these trades is Bo Firma probably plays Origin. Dylan Lucas probably doesn't, and Fletcher Sharp probably doesn't there. Stafford Toa is an interesting one. So Lachlan Galvin comes back, and Galvin was feeding a bunch of ball across to Toa. So Toa had a quiet game last week because he lost Galvin, but he gets Galvin back this week. I think Toa could bounce back and have a good game. So look, Stafford Toa, he's pretty expensive. He's 500k now. I'm not against you selling him, but I think he bounces back this week, and I'm going to hold him in my team personally. Other than that, these are great trades. I would consider potentially reversing the Stafford Toa to Dylan Lucas trade, maybe, but both Firma plays Origin as well. I just think Lucas, though, first week back from a hamstring injury, it's a little bit risky. That's the thing there. So that's where I'm kind of thinking, all right, maybe give Lucas a week before you buy him. Maybe hold Stafford Toa for one more week. I think Lucas will outscore Stafford Toa, but it would suck if you bought Dylan Lucas and then he got hurt and did a hamstring again. Like that first week back from a hammy injury is too risky. So I just reduced that one trade. Other than that, I think it's fantastic, but just keep Stafford Toa and just wait a week on Dylan Lucas is my advice there for you, Vertigo. Now, rolling through, and yeah, Dewey is a tough one. Look, you took the risk. We took the risk together. It's okay. Not every risk is going to come off. That's part of the game. You got to take those gambles if you want to win the game, because you've got to do things that other people aren't going to do, and if it's super straightforward, not everyone's going to do it. Let's keep rolling through here. Damian, good evening. How you doing, man? Here's his team pre-trades with a few proposals, looking at getting Couchman and Sharp. They're my buys this week as well. I can't ignore Couchman anymore. That injury he had 2 weeks ago with the knee, I was a bit concerned about that, but he came out last week and he proved that it wasn't an issue. So from my perspective, we just can't doubt Couchman anymore. Issue is he doesn't play round 12. So if you do want to anti-pod, I'm not completely against that either. So yeah, you've mentioned this here. Couchman plays 12. You get Clark as well. I think Couchman's a different beast, but you can get Clark too. That's an option. Just not worry about wing fullback. Potentially. Let's see these trades. So we've got a team here. Looks good. Duffy in the loophole. Yongi there as well. Sandon. Yeah, so we're going to have to make some trades here to strengthen this up. Campbell, Horsburgh, and Duffy for Couchman, Sharp, and Savala. I can't really say no to that. I think that's a pretty good set of trades. I think you're in a pretty good spot if you run those trades. But I don't love selling Horsburgh yet, but you can do it. Horsburgh is not going to make a lot more cash, so it's okay. Campbell, Smith, and Duffy, I like those as 3 sells for Clark, Sharp, and Savala. To me, that's better because that's Aaron Clark plus Rory Horsburgh in your team, as opposed to Couchman and Sandon Smith. So I think you do that trade instead. I like that one a lot. I'm a big fan of this second trade for Clark, Sharp, and Savala. Third option here is Clark, Couchman, Savala. You've got, yes, that's the same sort of trade there, similar style of trade. I would go the second trade myself. Campbell, Sandon, and Duffy out. Clark, Sharp, and Savala in. You're going to miss out on Couchman, but I think this is just a cracking trade where you get 3 guys who cover round 12, and you get rid of guys who you're just going to have to flick anyway, and you've basically got no wastage in that trade at all. So I would go the second option there for you. Do that trade that gets Aaron Clark in your team. Waggy Sun up next, and fairly happy with how his team will shape up for round 12 with these trades. Not 100% on Cant to Fafita. Neither am I. I think that's an average trade. I wouldn't do that. But you have enough time before the night's game to get the updated Titans team. Fair enough. Hoping to bring Lucas in and Savala next week. Savala's going to raise in cash, but I don't mind waiting on Lucas. So you got Walsh, Sandon, and Cant for Fafita, Clark, and Sharp. Personally, I think that you guys should hold Thomas Cant if you have him. Now, he's moved back to the bench, but he trained at lock all preseason, and Matt Croker isn't a guy who has demanded big minutes in this Newcastle side. So from my perspective, Thomas Cant, he's every chance of playing 50 to 60 minutes off the bench. Now, am I certain of that? No, it's not a guarantee at all. It's absolutely not guaranteed, but there's every chance it happens, and you got Cant in your team. He has a reasonably low break even. He's one of those guys you stick with him because he's got a lot of talent and a great work rate. So for Fafita, we'd only buy Fafita if he's starting. It sounds unlikely that he will. We've got to probably find another trade there. So the other trade is going to be someone from $599K upwards to Fafita, because I think your Walsh and Smith to Sharp and Clark trades are fantastic. I'd probably look at, I don't know, you could go Horsburgh to Fafita potentially, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do that. The rest of your team is pretty clean. It's pretty solid. You might have to miss Fafita this week. Fafita's got that hamstring issue as well. If I'm you, I'm probably just going to miss out on Fafita. So leave Fafita alone. Leave Cant in your team. Think about that trade next week, because look, Fafita might go up in cash. He might get hurt again. He might get ruled out late. I would ditch that trade completely, and I would look for a way to get Savala into your team this week. Now it just becomes a question of who do you trade for Savala, and the answer, the answer is probably. It's probably it's probably not Latu Fainu. I think he's the future at the Tigers, so I think you keep him. Jenkins is playing round 12, so I think you keep him. Valmunga is playing round 12, so you keep him. So it probably becomes a case of Hubner out for Savala. And that's because Savala is a bit of a must-have. So you got to make a way to get him. I think Hubner is the closest thing you have to a sell. So I'd be moving Hubner to Savala and reversing the Cant to Fafita trade instead. I think it's a pretty easy change for you. That's what I do. And then you can look at Fafita next week. But that hamstring issue, it's not a good one for him, especially since he started the year not in great match shape. Going through to Hunt for Dally M, dropped 3K ranks, so looking for a bounce back. Yeah, a lot of good coaches did cop a bad week last week. And maybe I only say that because I was one of them. But a lot of us did take a hit last week. Now, let's see these trades. So we got Campbell and Walsh out for Sharp and Clark. This looks fine. Look, it hurts to trade Campbell out, but I think Sharp and Clark are good options. They cover around 12. They're dual position. It's super easy to look at that. You got Dave Fafita there. So yeah, loopholing him is a smart move. And you've probably got a loophole going with Tamale as well. Yeah, no loophole there. So Tamale is just an option that sort of sits back there too. So for your team, these are good trades. I guess the question is, do you have Savala? So you don't have Savala yet. So that's the other one I'd look at there. Again, look, I'm not saying Hubner is a firm sell, but I think Savala is a guy you want to get. So I would consider selling Hubner, who doesn't play round 12, for Savala. The other option could be... There's no other option, really. I think it's Hubner to Savala. You know, Tamale plays around 12. Kautonga plays around 12. You keep those guys. You could maybe go Safarth to Savala if you wanted to, but I think Hubner is probably the safer option. There's also that risk of potentially... What were we talking about there? Yeah, potential Jai Arrow's gone to lock. Aitken's gone to the edge back row spot. Hubner may play off the bench when he comes back as well. So I'd go Hubner out for Savala. He's not a guy you have to sell, but I'm okay with you selling him. I'll just answer a few questions here now and see what's going on. So how do you get access to the elite coaches? There's a link in the description to this video. It's for WHOP.com/the casual athlete. Link is in the description there. Once you sign up for that, you then get into the private sections and you get part of that fantasy advice. You can also join Discord for free and just chat to other coaches, but the advice is part of that upgrade there. Fogarty or Sharp? I'm a Sharp fan right now. I think Sharp is red hot and covers a wing fullback, which is what we all need. Nico Hines or Sharp? I got Hines last week. I'm getting Sharp this week, so I think they're both good options. It depends what your team needs. I think Hines has a lot of upside that makes him a bit more interesting. What do you think of Fantasy Jamie? I'm a big fan. I love him. He's an OG. He's been doing this for a long time. He knows his stuff and he has his own opinions. So anyone who plays the game I love is a friend of mine. And Fantasy Jamie is definitely a homie to me. So I like him a lot. Then don't know how I still have Jezewski. What are your thoughts? I mean, you sell those boys, and those are good options. Tavanga is a bit risky, but those are solid options there. Does the Trade Talk Discord get reviewed? No, so that's just a public channel. So you know, that's plenty of chat. I jump in there sometimes, have a bit of a chat, but I couldn't review everyone. We have about 2,500 people in our Discord. There's only about 200 who are in the upgraded section. So that's where you get that trade advice. And if you are in that section too, and you don't get talked about tonight, you'll get a message later. It'll be a written review as well. So you get that trade advice there. Let's keep rolling through these teams. We've got Bomb Life here. Hey, Longy, I honestly have no idea what I should be doing and how to plan for these buy rounds. I obviously need a half, and I'm thinking Hines. I got Hines last week, so I'm all for that. But I could also go Cleary or Katoa. Really wanting to target Lucas or someone as well, but not sure how to go about that. Do you have any ideas of what I could be doing? I have been dropping so many ranks. Okay, let's save this one. So overall ranks about 5,000. You're still in a good position there. You've got a few concerns, but a few good things. You brought Hines into your team based on this screenshot here. So you've gone Campbell to Hines. I think it's just a case of, I think Campbell to Hines is fine. That's a good trade. It's a case of looking for any other opportunities here. So you've already got Savala there. You've got 77K in the bank, which is not a lot of money in the bank. So it means that we're now looking at a team where it's a good backline. It's a very strong backline. You have to stick with Kalen Ponga for sure. Then I guess like Tino's someone who he'll probably have to go through the origin period at some point. But overall, I think it's a pretty strong side. I'm just looking for anything else we can do. Like Connor Watson, I think you stick with him for sure until you see if he makes origin. Jenkins Tamale in the loophole is fine. I'm not too pressed about your team. Like I don't really think there's too much you need to do. I think your team's good. I think they're going to bounce back. I think you got a lot of guys who have been underperforming a bit. Lucas comes back. The Knights have a better fixture this week. Ponga should bounce back. Latrell back at fullback. He should bounce back too. Nico Hines is upside. You know, Garrick has been a bit out of form. He'll bounce back as well. Like, you know, Toa, he'll come back with Galvin in the team. Like there's just a lot of good stuff here that you potentially you should have covered here. So I think you're okay. Like I really think these trades are fine for you. You could potentially look at doing some crazy stuff, but you don't need to. I think save the trades. You know, just use that one trade. Your team is good. You got a lot of upside there. It's strange because I don't normally give that advice, right? It's normally a case of, you know, going hard, attacking the day. But in this case, I think, Bomb Life, you're just in a great position there. Then going through the teams, guys, a few of you guys are asking as well that you've just jumped on. You just bought Discord there. haven't seen it, you've got to look at the elite coaches section. So it might be minimized. You've just got to find that elite coaches section. It's going to be in Rate My Team, 6 p.m. Wednesday. Now, if you haven't signed up on WAP, you're just going to see these channels here, like Trade Talk, Pods Only, that sort of thing. That's fantasy discussion. That's for everyone. That's not covered in this because I'd be here for like 3 days straight if I wanted to cover all those. So it's just in the elite coaches section. You put your team and Rate My Team. You'll either be included in the video today or you'll be one of the people who gets a written review later. I'll tag you in that, so you'll see that one for sure. Then Crossy, what's your name? Are you not a member anymore? I'll give you a quick look, even though you're not a member anymore. So you got 130K in the bank. You're looking at a pretty solid team here. Obviously, we're going to sell Campbell. I think we'll sell Dewey as well. Then potentially, you got Hopgood, Walsh. So my advice for you is 3 sells. You sell Reece Walsh, you sell Jaden Campbell, you sell Adam Dewey. Then you need to target a wing fullback to strengthen your wing fullback spot. I would purchase Fletcher Sharp. Then I'd probably get Aaron Clark, and then I would get Savala. Pretty easy 3 trades for you. You're looking rock solid there. Jump on those trades, and you will be good to go. Then Sam here, we've got, hey mate, trades this week. Any thoughts on the team? And for Sam, I'm thinking Aaron Clark's at hooker, which is nice. So let's just see these trades first. So you've brought in Kai Pearce-Paul, Savala, Aaron Clark. You're looking at Howarth, Campbell, and Dewey. Oh, it's also Smithies. Just relax, bro. Just relax. Don't need to spam. Don't need to spam messages. So for this team here, Howarth, Campbell, and Dewey are all sells. Pearce-Paul, Savala, Aaron Clark are all buys. 383K is a lot of money to keep in the bank. That's my one concern here. So I guess, is there something we can use that money on? You got the couch already. You got Hines, Cleary. It's a pretty good looking side. You got Sharp there. Your wing fullbacks are very solid. Your bench is strong. Toya's there. You got Loophole with Savala, Jenkins there as well. I think you're in a pretty good position. I think it's okay for you. Keeping that 400K is fine. I think these are good trades. I'm just sort of looking for some glaring issues, but overall, I think this is very solid. Pearce-Paul and Aaron Clark are good options for round 12. Savala is good coverage as well. So I think you're in a great position there. Just stick with those trades. Mid cover, you should be okay. You got Aaron Clark coming in. You could potentially, you got Val Marga as well. I think you're okay. I think just keep riding that wave with those guys. We're going to have a look at Max Plath in the next couple of weeks. He's an option we'll look at. Maybe Reed Marnie, this sort of thing as well. But that's how I'd look at that. Then strapped up, let's see this team. So I'm not sure what to do. Would love some insight suggestions. So strapped up, you're purple, which means you're a level 2 mid-ranger. So you'll be on the call later if you want to as well. There's a private call. I'll send a message in there. It's 8 p.m. So in about 2 hours from now. So we can go through your team then too. But for your side, we got Terrell May as captain there. Kautonga in the starting back row spot. We're going to look at Yongi at wing fullback. Dewey is probably a sell as well. Then back row, you got coverage with Egan. Wing fullback, you have Tamale coverage, so you're okay there as well. I would sell Jaden Campbell. I would sell Adam Dewey. I would sell Sandon Smith. And I would buy Fletcher Sharp, Aaron Clark, and Hugo Savala. Now, other options there, you got Scott Drinkwater you can look at as well. Jacob Kraz, but I think for you, it's pretty straightforward. You're buying Fletcher Sharp, Aaron Clark, and Hugo Savala. They're your 3 buys there. You can look at some other options as well, but I think they're a pretty easy set of buys. By the way, guys, I do go through it in a lot of detail. So after this, if you want to have a look, the buy, hold, sell video on YouTube, that is where you can see my sort of deep thoughts on all different buy options there. Now, I'm just going to drop this link in the description here as well, because a few of you guys are asking. Bit of a chaotic one today. So NRL Noz, check this out. This, I just put the link in the chat there as well, but it is in the description of this video all the time too. So you guys just check that out. It's wap.com/the casual athlete. You just sign up there and then you sync your Discord and it will automatically give you access to these private channels where you get that one-to-one advice. There's a free trial too. So if you do want to jump on, you can jump on for a free trial, try it out and see how you go. And I'm confident you'll like it. It's good fun. It's a great community. So it's a fun one to be a part of there. Now, D. Lawrence, 95. Thoughts on these trades in the overall team? Ended up getting rid of Campbell for Tedesco last week after the injury news. Need to slow down on the trade soon. You've been playing catch-up since round 1. It's a tough one. You are playing catch-up, but sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's worth it. Also, guys, if you do have any issues with connecting, just shoot me a private DM. It's all right. I'll sort it out later. I'm not going to troubleshoot it while we're on live, but I'll sort you out 100%. You'll be fine. Now, Also, guys, if you do know how to connect as well, and you could help some of these guys out, let them know. So let's see this here. So we've got Donkeyz here with a pretty good team. You've got the trades that we've been burning through. Right now, you've got Fisher Harris, Yongi, and Walsh out for Lucas, Sharp, and Savala. These are good trades. 100% these are very solid trades. I would say for you, though, Lucas is one that I'm a bit dicey on, a little bit questionable. I just think with that hamstring injury, coming back from that, he's not someone I'm targeting right now. So from my perspective, where do you go? Where do you go there? And like, do you need to sell Yongi? Is the other question. Like Yongi plays in round 12 too. So I would reverse the Yongi for Lucas trade. Get rid of that. That will leave you with about 330K in the bank. So you got Fisher, Harris, and Walsh out for Sharp and Savala. 330K in the bank. Is there an upgrade I like for 330K is my next question. And the answer to that is yes, there is. Yes, there is. Okay, next trade. This is a groundbreaking one for you. Absolute blockbuster. But I love the idea of just checking you got it. So you got Fogarty at half. You got Savala at half. So you probably don't need a half right now. But I like the idea of selling Sandon Smith. So let's sell Sandon Smith and let's buy someone at about 750K. Who do we like for 750K? That's the next question. You got Couchman already. He's exactly 750. You've already bought in Fletcher Sharp, who I like as well. You could target Kai Pearce-Paul, potentially. I don't mind that. Just making sure it works for your team because you've got, obviously, Matty Nicholson plays round 12. I'd do that instead. Yeah, I like the idea of Kai Pearce-Paul for you. So jump onto Kai Pearce-Paul. Or an alternative is you could go for Herbie Farmworth. So I would either go Kai Pearce-Paul or Herbie Farmworth purchased for Sandon Smith. That's the big change there for you. So buying Pearce-Paul or Farmworth for Sandon Smith and not buying Lucas yet. I like Lucas a lot. I just think it's really risky with him first week back from a pretty major hamstring injury. He was out for like 4 to 5 weeks. It's just too long to take that gamble for mine. Kai, 5, 6, 7. Good to see you, bud. So we've got a ranking here, 6,000. He's the Pod King. That's a great team name, by the way. That's a great team name. The Pod King right here. So let's see this pod team. We've got a couple of pods. Lindsay Smith's a big pod there. Then Sharp used to be a pod, not a pod anymore. Tarpanay's a bit of a pod. You know, Nico Hines, Kai Pearce-Paul. This is podalicious, actually. This is pretty potty roster. So we're buying Savala, Hines, Pearce-Paul for Sandon, Firma, and Hubner. Don't mind that. I wouldn't sell Firma myself, but I think those are okay trades. You've got Sandon, Hubner, and Firma for Savala, Pearce-Paul, and Preston. That's pretty okay as well. I'm probably leaning towards Hines over Preston. Oh, Preston's probably a better scorer. He's safer. I just think Hines has this big upside, but yeah, Preston's a good option too. And then what else we got here? Savala, Pearce-Paul, and Herbie. Ooh, for Firma, Hubner, and Sandon. Again, yeah, okay, Latrell. I wouldn't buy Latrell now. I think it's a bit too close to Origin. So let's rule this one out. I'm probably not super keen on selling Bo Firma myself. So from my recommendation, I would reverse the Bo Firma trade on all of these. Yeah. And that would leave you with, let's see this. It's about 157K in the bank. Then I guess my question is, if you keep Bo Firma, is there something we can do with 157K? So with 157K, what can we do here? Let's have a look at this team. So with 157K, we can do an upgrade. And we probably upgrade maybe Yongi. I know Yongi's not on someone we would desperately sell, but he could be the option we upgrade, or really not many other options here. Okay, so it's probably a Yongi sell if you do want to spend the money. 2 options here. Either keep the 157K in the bank and don't do anything with it, which is not a bad option because you'll have some guys, or Yongi or Sandon could go as well. Or Duffy. Duffy's 292, so that would give you that 450K area. Is there a 450K that we like? Not really. You might be better off just holding the cash this week. I mean, your team's pretty good. I'd probably hold the cash. So reverse the Bo Firma trade, hold that trade, hold the cash, just use 2 trades this week. The big question coming through here as well, and this is worth answering. Why is Bo Firma a hold? So Bo lost a bunch of cash because he played center a few weeks in a row. He's now not playing center, right? So when it comes to Bo Firma, he's back in the back row. He scored 50 last week. I get that he scored a try, but he scored 50 last week. So that's one where I just think he's rock solid. Like, he's going to average about 50. He will play Origin, I expect. But this next 4 weeks is before Origin. He's trying out for Origin, so I think he's going to have a good 4 weeks. So I'd be pretty excited about Bo Firma for this next 4 weeks. On this question here too, look, I'm really not that keen to sell either of them. Like, my official stance is you want to hold both of these guys, Yongi and Jenkins. So they're both guys who play in round 12. That's the big thing. And if you can hold both of them, that's where I'm kind of recommending a few people just hold trades, because we're now at that stage of the year where we're preparing for round 12. We're trying to make sure we nail round 12. Kraz and Sharp, options there, or both. I think Sharp's a really solid option, plays round 12, will not play Origin, and is just really solid in his base stats here. I love Kraz. I'm terrified that Kraz gets picked for Origin and gets picked in game 1 in particular when Lomax is out, but potentially longer as well. So Kraz is one who, look, if he gets picked for Origin, what happens in the Origin period is the Bulldogs have one of the worst schedules for Origin players, the best schedule for non-Origin players. So he will have round 12, he'll miss for Origin. Round 13, he'll have a bye. Round 14, plays Parramatta. Round 15, he'll miss for Origin. Round 16, he'll have a bye. Round 17, he plays Penrith. And then round 18, he'll miss for Origin again. So he'll miss 5 games in 7 weeks if he makes the Origin team. I just think with Kraz, it's a bit risky, and he's not so cheap that you have to go get him. So I'm going Fletcher Sharp myself just to avoid the risk altogether. A few of you guys are asking too, how do we get in the team settings? The link is in the description, guys. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, by the way. But link is in the description there. Join up on wap.com/the casual athlete. That's this one here. And then you'll get access to the private channels where you can send your team in the Rate My Team section. If you get missed, don't stress too much. You'll be covered later as well. I'll cover all the teams that get sent through. So don't panic too much if it happens. It's all good. Let's keep rolling through here. So I'm going to start pumping a bit faster here. We've got Ants. He's currently ranked 56. Big dog. We got a big dog in the house, ranked 56. That's a great position to be in. Now let's see this. Options here. One is Campbell and Hubner out for Clark and KPP. I think those are good trades. Option 2 is Campbell, Hubner, and Starling out for Clark, KPP, Isaiah Katoa. So really the addition there is Starling for Katoa, which I think is a great trade as well. So from my perspective, look, this double trade is good, but the triple trade is better. I'm all for it. Do the triple trade here. Isaiah Katoa is rock solid. He's pumping out that sort of 40 to 70 range most of the time. Doesn't seem to have a low score in him. So yeah, jump on Isaiah Katoa. Do the triple trade. You are in a great spot there, by the way. Ranked 56. If you guys want to see a team that is ranked in the top 100, this is kind of what it looks like here, right? So Aaron Clark, bit of a pod there, but then that forward rotation is massive. All those guys can score 70 plus. Fletcher Sharp, Cleary, super upside guys. By the way, if you don't have Cleary, I wouldn't buy him now. I think it's too late now. So if you don't have Cleary, continue to anti-pod. But if you do, enjoy the wave and stick with him. Then backline here, a bit cheaper. So he's gone the cheap backline strategy. Garrick is the only one who's really spent money on. And then Mamazelis, Horsburgh, Nicholson. Yeah, Egan here as well. Kant doesn't even make the team, which is crazy. Would I change that? That's a hard one. Yeah, that's a tough one with Kant not making the team. Yeah, I think it's rock solid though. I guess actually, sorry, if you do those trades that we talked about, then you can move Fletcher Sharp into the wing fullback spot and drop someone like Tamale or Toya or someone like that out and bring Kant into your 17. So that's super easy. Isaiah Katoa comes in, you're solid there. But yeah, I would do the triple trade for you, Ant, is my official answer there. And then just shout out a few people have jumped on. So Jerome T. Gollage has jumped in. Good to see you. Hans Tox has jumped in as well and joined the Discord on the WAP account there. Rabid Waste, I see you there too. Jason Tour has jumped in as well. Then we've got Ux Skux, Savvy Josh, Z Dynamite Salby, I think it is as well. So yeah, bunch of you guys jumping in. Good to see you guys. I'll be definitely getting into your teams as well. If not on this live, then definitely later. I'll send across those reviews too. So if you have any questions, just ask in the Discord. The other boys will help you out 100%. Now, Aiden, let's go through this team here. So for Aiden, we've got Do you think these trades are good for my team? Who would you start, Jenko or Tamale? So we got Sandon, Campbell, Dewey out for Savala, Hines, Sharp. These are good trades. I like them a lot. Gives you good coverage for the origin period. My one concern is the half spot. You can only play 2 halves in round 12, right? Only 2 halves in round 12. Really remember that, guys, because in round 12, you only get to play your starting 13. So if you have 3 halves, you have to choose 2 of them to play. So if you have Fogarty, for example, then that's an issue. You don't have Fogarty, so now you've got your halves covered for round 12, so you're in a good spot. It's going to be Hines and Savala. This is a good team. Herbie Farmworth down there as well. That's a really underrated pod. I like that a lot. I think these trades are good, man. Yeah, I think these are really good trades. 100K in the bank is fine to have as well. You took a gamble with Dewey. A few of us did. I genuinely believe if Dewey played good footy in that game, he would have kept his spot. I like Dewey a lot as a player, but he just didn't have a great game by his standards. And he had a lot of attacking opportunities, just didn't have that little extra yard of pace to score those tries. So in another world, he would have scored 80 and kept the spot, but Parramatta pounded the Tigers, so he lost his spot there. In terms of who I'd start over Jenko and Tamale, I would start Jenko. Or, no, Tamale. I'm choosing Tamale. I would start Tamale. I just think ride the hot hand here. Jenko is not getting a lot of ball. Tamale is not getting heaps of ball, but he's a bit more capable of sort of finding the ball. So I'd go Tamale. I think he's in form. That edge for Canberra is really hot. Teams might be starting to double team Hudson Young now as well. So space should open up out the back for Tamale. I think Tamale is due for a big score this week. Rolly lacking a wing fullback for round 12. Yeah, it happens, man. So let's see his trades. You've got Toa, Campbell, and Cole out for Purdue, Couchman, and Clark. Not the worst. I mean, it's a bit late for Purdue, but he probably is still about 10 points undervalued if he averages about 45. So not the worst option there. The bench looks good for you here. You got both Firma there as well, Latrell, some different pod options. Hudson Young, big pod there. Congrats on the big pod, bro. You're podding up there. It's a big pod. Now, let's see these trades. Let's look at these again. I think they're solid. Like Aaron Clark, he gives you good middle forward coverage. I think you don't have to stress too much about wing fullback. You can handle that as you come to it. Like you've got some guys there, Pappenhausen, Latrell. You got a month of footy before you have to figure that out. So I wouldn't stress too much. But I think your team's in a great position, looking very strong for those buy rounds as well. So these are great trades. In terms of your bench, just make sure your loophole is set up correctly. So Hubner, for example, let me just double check this. But Hubner's a guy who plays for South, obviously. But when does South play? So South Sydney play the Friday game, which is the 4th game of the round. So if you're loopholing, you need the Roosters. The Roosters play that first game of Friday. So yeah, that'll be fine. Your loophole looks good. You could use Kautonga for a loophole as well if you wanted to. That's an option too, but we can go through that later too. Just a few questions coming through here. How do you send your team in? Link in the description there. It's wap.com/the casual athlete. In the description of this video and basically every video on the channel, there is that link. So you just sign up there and then you'll get access to the private channels in the Discord. You can send it through. Mama Zealous to Aaron Clark. I wouldn't sell Mama Zealous. I think he's doing his job. Campbell to Carraz is a good one, 100%. Then Rhoda, thoughts on being a loser? Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. Who's Brennan Rota? Poor Brennan Rota. I think Brennan Rota's a winner. All right, then Roman here. Hey, Longy, sorry off topic. How long have you been doing fantasy? I started playing in 2009, actually. 2009, the year that Parramatta made that grand final. Should have won the comp. But yeah, 09 was my year, and I've been playing for 16 years now, 17 years. It's been a long time. Only won it once too. I need to win a second time. At this point, my ratio is getting a bit off, but yeah, love it. And then NRL Noz, I appreciate you, mate. Appreciate you. Yeah, fantasy's better than Supercoach because fantasy's for adults. Let's be real. Supercoach's a bit of fun as well. It's a bit more volatile. Then shout out J Kid in the Discord. Is he helping out? Because that doesn't surprise me at all. He's an absolute legend. If you guys do see, jump in the Discord, just tag J Kid. If you do want advice, he's super sharp, super switched on. We're in a couple of leagues together, and he's an absolute legend of the channel. Then Sharp and Kraz are my trades. Yep, good options. Sup King, good to see you, Sai. G'day, Scuds. Good to see you, mate, as well. Let's keep rolling through here. By the way, guys, for specific thoughts on players as well, I see a few of you guys are asking questions about certain players and that kind of thing. I do a buy, hold, sell video on the channel. So that goes out on Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Buy, hold, sell is fantastic. Like it's the video of the week. I'm not trying to pump us up, but what I'm getting at is it's the video that summarizes all the analysis that we have for the week. So we do team lists. That's a bit reactive. It's kind of fun. This video is a bit of chat, bit of banter, a bit of advice, that kind of stuff. But the buy, hold, sell video gives you all the answers. So if you want to know which wing fullback to target, the first 10 minutes of that video, I go through Jacob Kiraz versus Scott Drinkwater versus Fletcher Sharp versus Selwyn Cobbo. I go through everything on those guys, and I tell you why I'm buying Sharp this week, right? So buy, hold, sell is the best place for that sort of advice and that analysis. So definitely check that out. And then, you know what, I'm getting a bit derailed, but I do want to answer this one here as well. What did NRL Fantasy look like in 2009? So 2009, you got 4 points for a try, 2 points for a line break, nothing for tackle breaks. So a guy like David Staggs or Corey Parker, these boys, they would make 6 tackles, right? They would get 6 points. And then your player would score a try and make a line break, and they would get 6 points too. And it was a total schmozzle. It was just totally different. So you wanted to have all those back rowers who played in the centers in your team because they just made a bunch of tackles, and that was what it was all about. It was pure base stats, become more attacking as the years have gone on. But back in the day, I had like Ben Smith from Parramatta. He was a back rower playing in my centers. Simon Mannering was there as well. There are a bunch of guys, even John Bateman, actually, when he first came to the league, he was a center eligible player, which is pretty crazy to think about now. But yeah, there was a lot of fun options there, but it's just a bit different. So yeah, easy as. Let's keep rolling through these teams though. So for Rolly here, we've got lacking fullback for round 12. We went through your team, so that's super easy. No shoes now, no wuckers. All right, easy. Let's see this team. So I'm scanning for problems here. Corey Pake's a bit of an issue. I'd sell him. Jai Gray is an issue. I'd sell him. So Pakes, Gray, and then Hopgood's a bit of an issue as well. Probably sell him too. You can keep Hopgood if you want, but let's say we sold Jai Gray, Corey Pakes, Jermaine Hopgood. So we're looking at I don't know how much money you have in the bank, but we're looking at about 1.2 million, about 1.7 million. The options I like are the options I like. I'm just going to be pretty boring here, but I think you need wing fullback, so I'd go Fletcher Sharp. I think you need middle forward, I'd go Aaron Clark. And then I think you need Hugo Savala in your team. So I would sell Jermaine Hopgood, Jai Gray, and Corey Pakes. I would buy Hugo Savala, Fletcher Sharp, and Aaron Clark. Again, they're the options there. Look, go through if you want to go through buy, hold, sell, so we can talk later too. There are some other options that you like as well. We can look at those guys, but other than that, buy, hold, sell is good. There's pod options you can look at too. They're just the guys that I'm targeting right now. Then Dano, hey Longy, my team below after potential trades, and we're still at the team sent at 6 p.m. This has gotten very popular. So I start with teams at 6 p.m. We're half an hour into this video, and we're still on 6 p.m. teams, which is crazy. So for you, your team is after potential trades. Would prefer Sharp over Krads. I completely agree, by the way. Short on going Sandon to Sharp. Could go Kautonga to Sharp, but you believe Kautonga is going to be handy. I agree, he plays around 12. And also could go back to the right side. I totally agree with you there. Thinking about Kiraz making Origin, I agree with that. We're on the same thoughts here, Dano. So we're thinking about the same stuff. I think we're in sync pretty much here. Let's see these trades. So you got Campbell and Sandon for Couchman and Kiraz. There's a risk that neither of those guys play round 12 when Couchman's and Kiraz. So I like them. I don't like it for round 12. I will just shout this out too. Apparently, Gray playing at 6. I thought that might be the case. I didn't hear that confirmation, guys. I've been at it all day. Pretty busy today. So if you guys do have that confirmation, can you send that through to the chat? Just confirm that that's what's happening there. But if Gray plays 6, then you keep him for sure. So anyone I've told to sell Gray, if he does move to 6, Rabbitohs play pretty early in the round, then keep Jai Gray. See how he goes. But that would be fantastic if he plays 6. Also, very good news for Latrell Mitchell, because it could mean that he is going to do all the kicking, because I don't think Jai Gray is going to do much of that kicking. So, yeah, for this team, the other option you got in trades here, Couchman and Sharp. Yeah, I want to keep Kautonga. So I think we need to go back to the drawing board. I reckon maybe we don't buy Couchman. I know it's a bit of a gamble, but it's kind of hurting your team to get him. That's my concern here. And you want to kind of prepare for round 12. So for you, I'm sort of thinking, if we sold Campbell and Sandon Smith and bought, I mean, I've said it a lot of times. We could buy Aaron Clark and, Fletcher Sharp. There are options there. We could buy Nico Hines and Fletcher Sharp. I actually think Nico Hines and Fletcher Sharp is a pretty elite pairing for you. I'd consider that. Couchman, I love Couch, but it's hurting your team so much. And I think you want to go to some of these other options. So personally, I would go Hines and Sharp. But if you want to go Couchman and Caraz, it's a bit risky, but it could be an option that works for you as well. So there's a few options there. Dano, we'll talk on the call later too. No shoes, no workers. We already did your team as well. Freedom Rider, good to see you, mate. Good to see you on the lives all the time as well. Let's see this one. So good day, Longy. Hope you're swell and found some eggs over the Easter break. As always, loving the content. It's time for my team's checkup, but I already know that the boots need to be hung up. You're in retirement. Just need you to confirm that all hope is gone. I've given up from rankings, barely winning head-to-heads. Mate, you can always bounce back in head-to-heads. You can always bounce back in head-to-heads. That's so easy to happen. But this week you're thinking about bringing in KPP and Savala for Walsh and Dewey, both of which you only got last week. Yeah, it's a tough one. I took a gamble there. KPP and Savala is a good pairing though. So look, yeah, your rank's in a tough spot. It's just a case of trying to find a way to secure some points. So for you, Walsh and Dewey for KPP and Savala is elite. It's elite. I think you're so far back in the rankings that you just want to focus on round 12 here. So you could consider, you could maybe sell Hubner if you wanted to. I don't think you need to. Metcalf plays round 12. So, I mean, at this point, maybe you just stick with him as a bit of a pod there as well. I think your pair of trades is good. The other thing I'll say is for head-to-head leagues, you just need to make the finals and then you're a shot. So just try and, grab points, grab wins. But I think this pair of trades is good. You get Savala out of it. You're in a good spot. Your rank rise, by the way, at that rank, if you just keep on going hard, your rank is going to increase. I would say, just looking at your team, it's a good team. You don't have Couchman, obviously. That's the one concern. But it's a good side. I would be pretty surprised if you don't end up in the top sort of 10,000. I think you just make that your goal. Try to go for the top 10,000. Be the biggest riser in the whole of the Casual Athlete Discord. And if you are, I'll give you a shout out and an award or something like that. But if you can rise from 64,000 to 10,000, then you're a bit of a goat there. It's a massive comeback season. It gets you ready for next year anyway. CG 3616. So hey Longy, I'm thinking of you could go Hubner in for Munster. I'm keeping Hubner for depth in the mids over the origin period. My only problem is having 600k in the bank. Trades look like Campbell, Dewey, Munster out for Sharp, Clark, and Savala. 600k in the bank. It's a lot. It's a real lot of cash. It's pretty extreme. Also, guys, just a quick one. Jordan Ricky just got ruled out for round 8. Just got a text. Jordan Ricky got ruled out for round 8. Has an infection. Should be 1 week, I would expect. But it probably means that Pia Kura gets a start. Do what you want with that. We're not going to buy Pia Kura, but it's just the magic that we play with him being the mascot of the show. Now, for Fins Up Lad here, I like these trades. I think Munster is one you can sell pretty happily. Campbell and Dewey you can sell as well. These are problems for me too. Sharp, Clark, Savala it's a similar issue to what I have. So for my team, I'm looking at this exact conundrum, and I personally don't like leaving heaps of cash in the bank. So from my perspective, it's probably a case of maybe we keep Cam Munster, and I don't want to keep him. Maybe we keep Adam Dewey. We do something like that. It's just the issue is who else is there to sell? Because if you sell Munster, you bring Sharp in, Clark in, and Savala. So Sharp steps in. You already bought Sharp. Savala, Clark. Yeah, tossing up that third trade. So it's Munster to Savala, really. My thing here is I think it actually might be worthwhile for you to keep Munster. And it's not because I think he's going to be elite this week. Like I don't have a lot of faith. But imagine this, right? I'm putting you in a different spot here. What if instead of loopholing Tom Jenkins, you loophole Cam Munster and Tamale? Do you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm looking at it. I'm going, all right, you know what? If you just keep Munster and you sell Hubner instead, you'll still pocket a bunch of cash, but you could then put Munster in the emergency 5 spot and loophole him. And Munster is a much higher upside loophole than Jenkins is, right? So that's probably what I'd be doing if I was you. I personally think that's the way to go about this. So I would keep Munster. I'm in the same situation, by the way. I'm probably going to loophole Munster as well. That's where I'm playing it. So I'd keep Munster, sell Hubner instead. It boosts your scoring for this week, and you're at a rank, 6,000. Overall rank is 3,400. I'd keep Munster to the loophole. And I know I sound like I'm totally delusional with this guy, but he's a guy who we just know what he can do, right? And there's no point selling him just to bank 600k in the bank. You might as well keep him for a bit. A couple of questions coming through. Piakura season. Absolutely, it is. Longy, can you give me your thoughts on buying Garrick? I would give Garrick a bit more time to get a bit cheaper, but I actually really like the idea of buying Garrick around round 11. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of him. Would I go Sharp or Fogarty for Campbell? I'd probably go Sharp just because of that wing fullback flexibility right now. Is Campbell to Sharp and Ponga to Karaz a good trade? No, I would not do Ponga to Karaz. Campbell to Sharp is good. Keep Ponga over Karaz right now. I think Ponga has that potential to bounce back. And then Hiroti, the issue there is that Kale Iro will be back very, very soon. So Hiroti is going to sort of fade out of the picture. All right, let's keep rolling through. So Nathan here, you're chasing a wing fullback. You've got Sandon and Walsh out for Savala and Sharp. These are good trades, man. You had a bit of cash in the bank, so I don't mind that. Also, by the way, quick question came through. Is Couchman still a buy if he's on the bench? No, do not buy Couchman if he's on the bench. I think he'll score fine for those who own him, but we will not buy him if he's on the bench. I hope he's on the bench, by the way. As a non-owner, if he's not on the bench, I'm avoiding for sure. He still scores well, though. The thing is, he'll play like 55, 60 minutes off the bench and still score 60 points, but you wouldn't target him as a buy. Now, always bet on black. Yeah, this is a good pair of trades. You get Sharp and Savala in. Easy as. Is there anyone else we want to sell? Probably not. You only got 39k in the bank, so there's nothing crazy we can do with that money anyway. Yeah, Terrell May, you got Couch there, Nicholson, Young. Young probably makes Origin, by the way, so just keep that in mind. You might need to sell Young at some point, but no rush anytime soon. Rest of the team looks really good here. A lot of Canberra in this team. I think it's a good tradesman. So yeah, so Svar and Sharp, these are solid options. There's nothing else really jumping out at me for your team, so I think just jump on those. You could potentially think about selling Gus Crichton, but you don't need to. Like a bit of a pod. He plays next 2 weeks. I'd sell him in round 10 for sure, because he'll miss round 10. He'll play round 11. He'll miss round 12 due to Origin. He'll be backing up after that, so lower score as well. So for Gussie Crichton, keep rolling with him, but be ready to sell in the next couple of weeks. Then, hey Longy, keep up the great work. Cheers, mate. Cheers. For those of you who missed it, you're just doing a bit of work with some youth, so high school kids. So we're at camp right now, doing like Indigenous sort of camp there, going through a lot of cultural stuff. We're playing archery tag today, which is a lot of fun, but a lot of sort of serious stuff working through too, and it's a lot of fun. They're absolutely legendary kids, so having a good time and doing a good thing, which is always a good time. Little Josh Solo, though, let's see what your trades look like here. So you've got 12 for round 12 post trades that you see, assuming Watson, Horse, and Preston don't play Origin. That's a hard one. I think Watson is pretty likely. Horsburgh is pretty likely as well. And Preston, I think, is quite unlikely. So I think you're in a pretty good spot here with Preston at least. But keep an eye on Watson and Horsburgh. They're not guaranteed, but I think they're more likely than not. Then you want to bring in Fletcher Sharp for someone, but you're not sure who. Leaning towards Kautonga as you've got coverage, edge, and center. But what do I think? Okay, so Fletcher Sharp for someone. Well, Drinkwater doesn't play round 12. So, I like Drink, but I think Sharp is better than Drinkwater. Like, I think he is, but Drink has been in good form lately as well. He's goal kicking, all that sort of jazz. Let's see. If there's another trade we can make for Sharp, you got 460k in the bank. So it's whoever we want, really. Katonga, Yongi, Riley Smith, they all play round 12. That's the thing. Like, I like my round 12 players. Got a lot of good options here. Munster's there as well. I know he's been frustrating. Stuff for toe is pretty expensive right now. This is a hard one. It's hard to spend all your money. Look, you could do Kautonga out. The issue with Kautonga selling him is he's a back rower, and he might go back to that other edge. Like, he's been mostly good for us. He plays around 12. I wouldn't want to sell him. Maybe Stafford Toa. So Stafford Toa is more expensive. He's about 512k. He's made his money. You're not using him in your 17 this week anyway. I'd probably sell Stafford Toa before I sold Kautonga, just to cover that round 12 week. So Stafford Toa out, Fletcher Sharp. I think that's a great trade. I would do that instead. Also, a few questions going through. I'm personally on Sharp over Drinkwater. That's my answer for that. Sam Perkins, I'd go Sharp over Drinkwater. But Drinky plus Couchman over Sharp and Clark. Yeah, Drinky and Couchman's better than Sharp and Clark. The issue is it doesn't help you in round 12. So just have a look at that. And then Sam Smith trading for Stone Street. I wouldn't buy Stone Street. He's not an option I'm targeting at all. Now, let me just pick up the pace here because we've got a bunch of teams to go through. So I'm going to go as fast as I can. Quick fire. I'm not going to elaborate too much because you guys have heard all my thoughts on these players now. And if you guys are in the Discord and you want like elaboration or you want me to go more detail, shoot me a message there and I'll talk to you later. Rolando, Kia Ora from New Zealand, playing head-to-head with the boys, trying to maximize overall score. Let me know what I think. He's got Connor Watson, Yongi, Brimson out. He's buying Paddy, Sharp, Couchman. This is a bit rough looking. I'm a no to this completely. Scrap those trades altogether. Go back to the team. Yeah, mainly head-to-head. So I guess you don't have to worry about round 12 too much. Keep Connor Watson, man. Keep Connor Watson. He's the best hooker in fantasy right now. And AJ Brimson's doing a job as well. He's a head-to-head coach. You really want to have Couchman. So for your team, definitely keep Ponga, by the way. You're a head-to-head coach, so keep Ponga. That's a hard one. You don't have too many guys that are easy sells. I wouldn't be trading too aggressively if I was you. Maybe you could go Sandon Smith and Yongi out. I'm trying to go faster, but it's hard. Sandon Smith and Yongi out for Sharp and Cheapy potentially. Like, I reckon if you're a head-to-head coach, I would just save the trades. Like Yongi, Watson, Brimson, they're fine. Like, you don't really need to target Sharp and look, Couchman. I know you want him, but it's gonna be hard to get him into your team. So personally, if I'm you, I would save all the trades because often, yeah, it's a bit diabolical. Often the team who has the most trades in the head-to-head finals wins in the league, right? So I've been in I've had head-to-head teams before where I've not had the best team. I've come like 6th or 7th, and I've had a lot of trades left at the end, and I've won the comp for just having those trades and be able to buy the hot options. So I would reverse all of these trades. I wouldn't do any of them. I wouldn't target Paddy. I think just hold back Rolando Bloom. Don't trade this week. Only Ducky, hey Longy, looking to get Sharp this week as my wing fullback is in shambles. Also like Clark, me too, buddy. So Savala, Clark, Sharp, for Sennan, Hubner, Campbell, bang, bang, bang. Yes. Love them all. These are good trades. And then I'm getting a bit of a slow loading, but I love those trades. Only Ducky, you're in a great spot there. Definitely do those ones. Fantasy HHH, Triple H. Is it the WWE references? You're going to need to tell me if it's a WWE reference. But for you, any advice on if you should just make the one trade, or is Couchman and Clark worth trading Nicholson and Horsburgh? So you've got Campbell, Nicholson, and Horsburgh out for Sharp, Couchman, and Clark. Nope. Just the one trade. Campbell to Sharp. Don't trade Nicholson or Horsburgh out just yet. They could be super useful for you. Nicholson especially, by the way. Nicholson is the firmest of holds right now. Like, anyone who sells Nicholson, I will disown you. I will cut you off. You need to keep him. He plays around 12. Just go Campbell to Sharp for you. And then you could maybe look at selling Sandon Smith for You might be able to afford Sandon Smith to Aaron Clark as well. So if you go Campbell to Sharp and Sandon to Clark, that's great. I reckon do that double trade. That's the move I'd do if I was you. Jay Tua. Hey, Longy. How's it going, mate? Any tips and thoughts on your trades? Let's see. So you're stuck between Clark, Ponga, Pappy, Mazu, Ford, Starling. Yeah, Ford's an interesting one. He plays only edge, though. Rank there. You started round 2. Okay, yeah. I reckon it's hard starting in round 2. Top 5K is a big one. It's a big goal. If you play it right, though, I think you can do it. So you got Campbell for Sharp, Hamaso for Couchman, Sandon for Clark. Yeah, these are all good trades here. Hammer plays Origin, so the Dolphins play round 12, but Hammer won't. I think these are good trades. Yeah, they're good options. And then, yeah, Fanor Blake's there as well. Egan probably deserves to be in your 17 somewhere. That's the question of where. That's a hard one. He doesn't really fit, does he? But the guys you're buying are good options. It's a deep team. It's a really deep roster. Yeah, I'm all for those trades, man. Lock those in. I'll see you on the call later, but let me know if you have any other changes you want to look at. Hurring, hey mate, hope you're doing well. Looking for some advice on this week's trades, like the Couchman trade. More personally, I don't need to center cover for round 12. Can you hear your thoughts? Okay, so Campbell, Walsh, Hopgood for Clark, Sharp, Couchman. Yeah, mate, these are good trades. These are bona fide good trades. Like this is great. Or Campbell, Walsh, Hopgood for Clark, Sharp, Herbie. Okay, so it's Herbie or Couchman, right? So Couchman's probably the slightly superior scorer. Slightly. Herbie is the one who covers round 12. I kind of like the idea of Herbie instead. I'm toying with the same thing myself. I'm thinking about these trades. I like the idea of going Herbie myself. So look, it's up to you. Do you want to go with the crowd or do you want the pod option? That's really what this decision is, right? Because I think they're quite similar in scoring. Couchman's been better recently, but Herbie's the pod. If you want to pod up, go Herbie Farmworth. If you want to go with the crowd, go Couchman. My heart says Herbie Farmworth, so that's a tough one there. But I'm leaning towards Herbie there. I just think that round 12 coverage is really good. But Couchman is Couchman. Like it's a tough one. I'm toying with the exact same thing, so I'll let you guys know in the channel as well. I'll jump in the Discord. I'll probably make my decision tomorrow. Like usually, I make the call quite late in the week. So usually Thursday I'm at my call, but I'll let you know what I decide in there too, because I'm tossing up between those two. Hey, Longy from Caleb here. How you doing, Caleb? Won't go for Herbie this week because I don't think any of the top players have him due to his price. Thoughts on this team and trades this week? You're absolutely right. He's a pod, and he's a guy who can go 100 plus. So Walsh, Stewart, and Dewey for Carraz, Savala, and Farmworth. Yeah, these are good trades here. Carraz jumps in to your team. Toya in the loophole is fine as well. The issue with your loophole is Savala plays at the same time as Toya. So Paddy is your backup for your loophole. It's not ideal. So you might want to play around with that loophole there. But other than that, yeah, I think these are good trades. Just keep in mind that risk with Carraz, maybe playing Origin. I don't think it's likely, but it is a good chance. Lomax might be out. So I think Carraz will play game 1. That's my suspicion here. It just makes it very hard to buy him right now. So personally, I'd go Sharp over Carraz, but if you're a Carraz believer, you're a Carraz believer. I'm not going to talk you out of it. Starboy, man's on top, by the way. Rank 55. I think we had rank 56 earlier as well, so that's funny as. But Starboy, absolute legend. One of the OGs. So when we had, I think we had like 10 people in this group, in this Discord, and Starboy joined. So one of the absolute OGs. Never forget it. Love your work. You've been a big part of making it a really cool Discord, man. So stoked to have you on. What is good with you? Finally made into the cool club. Your rank last year was disastrous. I remember that. So good this week, though. So top 100. Let's have a look at this. And give yourself credit, too, by the way. Looking at JC and Jenkins for Drinky and Savala. I don't love the Jenkins and JC for Drinky and Savala. I don't mind Drinky, but for selling Jenkins for Savala, it's a bit yuck. Other options, head-to-head player. Okay, so you're mostly head-to-head, so you don't have to worry about the buys. In that case, I'm not actually fussed about Jenkins, but 72k in the bank. Metcalf is sellable. Campbell's definitely sellable, obviously. Then I'd keep Jenkins just for round 12 coverage. You have such a good ranking. You might as well keep him. I think he does make some cash. So my thinking for you is I'd rather sell Campbell and Metcalf if I was you. So if you sold Campbell and Metcalf, you have 72K in the bank. Campbell's 780, Metcalf's in the 500s. You're looking at about 1.35 mil. For 1.35 mil, we're playing with... If you like drink, you like drink. So 1.35 mil. If we get drink water, we're looking at 720K. 720K. I don't mind Nico Hines. Like if you go Nico Hines, that's a fun option there. Another option could be at 720. There's a lot of options around that price. It depends where you want to target. But you go Nico, you just play around with it. I'd get another gun there. So my advice here is to sell Campbell and Metcalf and buy, you mentioned Scott Drinkwater. So Drinkwater and a gun, like a Nico Hines or, one of these other guns at that price point. I would target them instead. Or you could go to Aaron Clark if you wanted to cover for origin period, save a bit of cash as well. There's plenty of options for you there, but you're in a good spot. If you wanted to go to Aaron Clark as well, you could potentially sell Hubner and upgrade him too. That's an option for you. It's not a guarantee, but it is an option you could look at. Then go getter, dollars here. And we'll just go a bit over time here because I want to cover a few of these more off because a lot of you guys were right on 6 p.m. So go getter, you've got trades here. Pacific Tonga, yeah, sell him for sure. I wouldn't sell Garrick though. So let's see. Fanua Blake also a little bit risky right now too. You've got in the bank, you have 42K plus 29K. I just got to work it out on the fly. That's the one thing. So 41, 71, 120, about 190K in the bank. Quick math. All right, we're going to sell Reece Walsh and... All right, easy trades. Bang, bang, bang. 190K in the bank. We sell Reece Walsh. We sell Duffy. We buy Savala. And we buy anyone we want, basically. So a nice wing fullback or someone like that. So you're selling Reece Walsh and Duffy. You're buying Savala and someone, like a gun player, like Aaron Clark, like Nico Hines, like, one of these guys we've talked about. You've already got Sharp there, but like Drinkwater maybe, one of these options, that's what I'd be doing for you there. So Walsh and Duffy out, Savala and one of those guns in, one of those guys we talked about in buy, hold, sell. And go get you're in the guns group too. So level 3 gun society. That's a very, very small group. Same thing with mid-ranger society, but gun society there, that's the sort of top tier. There's about 15, 20 of us in there. And we sort of talk all weekend basically, but that's where you're going to get into the call. The call is this one, Fantasy Lounge. It's only accessible to mid-ranger and gun level. So if you do sign up, guys, you want to be in that call 8 p.m. tonight, which is about an hour from now, then just make sure you sign up for gun or mid-ranger. Gun is the best of the best. It's a great spot to be, great community, good vibe. Now, Crooks, thoughts, is the right way to loot my centers? Should I grab Savala? The only thing is I've got 3 Roosters already. That's a tough one. So I think you need Savala, but 3 Roosters is not ideal. You got Campbell and for Sharp, good trade, 127K in the bank. Your Roosters are Watson, White, and Toya. They're all holds. That's the hard part about that. I wouldn't sell any of them, but I want Savali. I would probably take the gamble. Like this is, it's risky. It's risky, right? But my view is I'd probably take the gamble. And if you went Hubner, for example, to Savala, and just hope you don't have too many injuries, I think you're okay. So that's what I'd do. I'd go Hubner to Savala. I think it's a good trade for you. Just making sure you're all good. So you've got Burton at half, and then Savala would be your other half for round 12. I would do Hubner to Savala and just hope for the best. I think it's worth the gamble. A few of you guys asking about Jazz Tavanga too. He is an interesting option. I went through him a bit in the cheapies section of Buy, Hold, Sell. So Buy, Hold, Sell has a cheapies section, has a pod section. It's a pretty cracking video. If you scroll across, it's written along the top. So the sections are all there in the progress bar and all that sort of thing too. But yeah, for Jazz Tavana, it's risky. You need him to win some of that lock spot. That's the big thing. So you want Jake Trbojevic to go to prop for a bit. It's a 50-50 coin toss, really. He could totally screw you over, but his origin period is fantastic. So I think he's a high upside option, and I actually don't mind him at all. All right, Gentle Giant PK. Hey, Ollie, how's it going, mate? This is your trades, team before trades. Let me have a look at the trades because you're saying you need half and wing fullback. Starting Savala, I don't hate it. I don't hate it for now. Like, you can temporarily do it. You want to get feeder strong mid next week. So Walsh, Campbell, Paddy, they're all pretty good sells. For Savala, Drinkwater, and Sharp. Pretty good. I like trade one. Olakau'atu, Campbell, and Walsh. For Katoa, Sharp, and Clark. I like getting Savala. I think you want to get Savala. And Olakau'atu is getting cheap. Like, Olakau'atu is actually an interesting one. He's one that's... he's getting cheaper, and he's got a great Origin schedule. Now, if Olakau'atu doesn't make Origin, he covers all 3 major buy rounds. So if Olakau'atu doesn't make the Origin team, I might buy him in round 12. I actually think that he's one to target, so I wouldn't do this trade. I'm going to skip trade 2. Trade 3 is Campbell, Dewey, Walsh for Sharp, Savala, Couchman. I like that a lot. It's a case of Drinkwater versus Couchman, really. And I think Drinkwater is the one to get. So I'm going to go trade 3. You got Sharp, Savala, Couchman in for Campbell, Dewey, Walsh. That's great. You lose nothing in terms of your scoring, and you add a lot of upside to your scoring there. Also, YTB, love you, mate. Shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM. I'll go to yours. I'll get through it 100%. But unfortunately, can't buy your way to the front on this video. I will say, though, if you do a little donation like that, I'll always make sure I answer your questions, guys. But for this one, I've got to go through the list, as I say, from 6 p.m. onwards. Now, Woolly Strike, we'll do a few more here. We'll smash these out. Starting to look ahead for round 12. Let's look at these trades. So Campbell, Hubner for Katoa, Clark. I like that a lot. That's a great pair of trades. Campbell, Katonga for Hines and Clark. I would do the one I mentioned here. So Campbell and Hubner out, Katoa and Clark in. You want to keep Katonga. I like Hines, but Katoa is just as good. So that's an easy one there. Question there on if I'm getting Couch. I'm tossing it up. I'm going back and forth on Couch. I haven't yet decided. I probably won't do it, though. Probably won't do it. Harley Davidson, by the way, I didn't go through yours. Yours was a bit early. So you'll get a written review later. So you'll be all sweet. Baked Beans was a pretty poor week for me. Also, by the way, guys, if you do miss it, I do a fire react on every one that I review. So if you're not sure if you got reviewed, check if you have a fire react, because that's how I mark them off. All right, Baked Beans, pretty poor week for you. Let's see your trades here. So we got Howarth, Campbell, Sandon for Savala, Sharp, Preston. Mate, these are great trades. These are great trades. Super easy. I like Preston a lot. I think this is great. Bench looks good. You got Savala in the loophole. That's fine. Thomas Cant is wasted. Wasted on this bench. I would start Thomas Cant over Tamale. I would start Cant over Tamale, and then I would probably loophole Savala. Yeah, I'd loophole Savala. I'd still leave your loophole there, but I would swap Canton and Tamale. And yeah, I think your starters are better. So yeah, play Cant over Tamale is my advice here. I think he's Cant's going to be good. I think he's going to come off the bench and play 40 to 60 minutes. And I think he'll score like 40 to 50 points. I just had this feeling he's going to go good. So I would play Cant over Tamale. Other than that, these are cracking trades, mate. Red hot. Well done. A+. Baked Beans. We're cooking baked beans now. NRL Nods, I hope you're still here because I saw you before. So hopefully you're on here. What players aren't playing? I'll do a video on the buys as well. But if you look at a player and you go into their fixtures, you can actually see if they play round 12, round 13. Or if you go to NRL.com, you can also see who plays those weeks too. But for you, let's see. You've gone up 2,000 ranks. Great work. Doing Campbell out for Clark and Sharp. Good trades. Love them. Love the team. Mama Zealous in the loophole is okay. That's fine. Yeah, good. Good. Looks good. Yeah, Mama Zealous plays before Jenkins. So, yeah, I like it. They're great trades. That's super easy, man. And then I'll do just a couple more here. Zaya, P24, O-Dog, and Butters. I'll do your ones, and then I've got to finish up, and I'll be able to jump in. Oh, Bella. Good to see you, Bella. Now, Bella's ranked about 100,000, so don't take her advice. Hey, Longy, took the risk of Dewey and Potter Tokamanu. Let's see this. Yeah, so we got Campbell, Dewey, and Hubner out for Burton, Cobbo, and Clark. I'm not a fan of Cobbo right now. I think it's a bit too early to get Cobbo. So for you, yeah, don't get Cobbo. So what do we do instead? You got 155k. You can spend a pretty good amount of money on a player. Tough one with your team. You got a lot of the options that I'd recommend normally. I think Burton's a little bit of an origin risk too. I just want to throw that out there. But you could pot up with Cobbo. You could pot up. I think Cobbo is a next week play. That's the thing I'm thinking about there. I don't mind these trades. Play around with them though, and have a look at some other options. But look, it's a pod play to get Cobbo. Cobbo has the Dogs this week though. That's what I'm kind of nervous about. Like, the Dogs have been shutting down fullbacks, and Cobbo has a pretty high break even. So if you want to pot up, do this. But Cobbo is risky, and I'm waiting for next week before I make my assessment. I actually, by the way, on buy, hold, sell. So if you check that out after this, buy, hold, sell video, that's one where I go through Cobbo first thing. The first thing I talk about is Cobbo. In fact, I'll just quickly show you. Oh, no, I won't show you. Just go to buy, hold, sell. It's a video. It's pinned on the channel. It's the biggest one of the week. That's the one that I would hit up for sure. And then, all right, I'll jump back to NRL Noz. I'll jump back to yours in a sec. I'll jump back to yours and finish up on it. Zaya, I'm pretty happy with this here. So Campbell, Dewey, Hubner, Clark, Cobbo, Burton. We talked about that, so we're all good there. Then O-Dog, rankings coming up there. That's good to see. For your team, yeah, Namani Tawase, nice little loophole there. Any trades that we could make? I think you might have made your trades already. Just looking at this team, or it's just a good team. Yeah, you're not too pressed. You don't have too many of the issues that a lot of coaches have. You already have Savala. You could potentially hold trades here, or you could target someone. I don't know how much cash you have in the bank, but you could maybe play around with, Hubner to Sharp or one of those sorts of trades. Go Hubner to Aaron Clark. I don't mind that. Like I would probably trade Hubner to one of those guys. I think other than that, you can save trades and be in a pretty good position here. And then Butters, and then I'll jump back to NRL Noz after this one. So Butters, you got Campbell and Dewey out for Fletcher Sharp and Nico Hines. They're bloody great trades. I know I nearly swore on stream, but they are fantastic trades. I think it's awesome pair of trades. You got loophole set up. You got Toya in for Kautonga. Then you got Jenkins as your backup for your loophole. You could play around with an extra trade if you wanted to. 235k in the bank. You got Hubner there. You could trade Hubner for someone who is 666k. You can do that. I don't mind the idea of doing that. If I was you, I would probably do it. I'd probably trade Hubner for. I think Hubner for Clark is not a bad trade. I would add that trade to your trades. So Hubner out, Aaron Clark in, covers middle and hooker, and you're a bit light at middle forward for round 12 anyway. So yeah, do that trade there. Hubner for Aaron Clark, Butters. But other than that, your first two trades are great. I think it's actually a perfect trio of trades. NRL Noz, shoot some questions through. Do you have any questions here? Because I like your trades. Have a look at your team. But if you have any specific questions, let me know. In terms of your team, look, it's a strong team. I like Connor Watson there, bit of a pod. Cleary and Brimson is a bit light at the half spot. So I'd be trying to think about maybe upgrading the halves at some point, bringing in a genuine top tier half as that second half. Toya Garrick, backline looks really good to me. Then Preston Egan, Clark, Kautonga, loophole with Mamazelis. Got Savala there. Savala is the best cheapie, by the way, 100%. You've already got Savala, so you're all good there. Yeah, Fogarty next week is a good option. You could go Isaiah Katoa as well. You've got 19k in the bank. So look, you're not flush with cash. That's the thing, right? So we don't have any one-for-one trades we can make with your team. So yeah, I think the idea of going for Fogarty next week, or potentially going for, Isaiah Katoa or Nico Hines, one of these guys, I think that's your plan next week. Go for one of those guys. In terms of captaincy, I'm a big fan of Haas as captain this week, by the way. I actually think Haas is my number one captain, and I will probably have my captaincy on Haas because I like the matchup versus the Dogs. I think the Doggies are a matchup that play right up the middle, and they will give Haas a lot of work to do, but also they're a little bit undersized. And as much as they're a great defensive unit, guys like Reed Marnie and a few of the other forwards there, they do miss a few tackles. So I think Haas will have a few offloads, a few tackle breaks. I don't expect him to score a try, but I think just through work rate, he can get to 80 points. So it's a pretty exciting one there. And then I'll just answer this one here from user because he's kindly donated. So appreciate that, mate. Even though it's New Zealand dollars. Now, like half the people who watch this show are from New Zealand. Like it's actually crazy. I need to take this tour to New Zealand. So Tamale, Brimo, Sharp, Toya, Purdue. Should I upgrade? Tamale, no. Brimo, no. Sharp, no. Toya, no. Purdue, no. None of those, man. I'd keep all of them. So Tamale, Sharp, Toya, all play round 12. Purdue is making money, and Brimson is doing fine. So I'd stick with him as well. So I think they're the ones you want to keep in your team, 100%. Cool. So guys, that's pretty much me done and dusted. Yeah, LM, we've got to get you to the Waz game sometimes, Longy. Yeah, look, I'd love to, eh? I'd love to swing across, get to a Warriors game. You guys are fired up. I'm glad you guys got the win too, because the Storm came over and they cooked you up. I'm glad you beat the Broncos. Reestablish a bit of credibility there. I feel like the Warriors, they look like comp, favorites at times, and then they just play terrible. It's like this up and down sort of thing. Hopefully you guys can get fully fit again and really contend. But yeah, no, I'll try to swing across. I'm a big fan of. I'm sorry to the Broncos fans as well, but I'm a big fan of New Zealand. I love Waiheke Island too. This is super random, but yeah, Waiheke Island. Bit of cycling around the island. Love a bit of a winery, that sort of thing. It's a great day. So if you're ever in Auckland, guys, jump across to Waiheke Island. It's a great spot, and obviously big Lord of the Rings fan too. So Hobbiton's not a bad spot down south as well. Then nights for lunch on Friday. Well, I'll be at Magic Round, by the way, guys. So we're actually going to do an event for Magic Round. I'm just planning the details now, but it's going to be, right near Caxton Street, potentially on Caxton Street. I've got it planning at the moment. So there's going to be an event at Magic Round. Hopefully I meet a bunch of you guys there if you are from Brisbane, or if you're just going to Magic Round. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll post it on Discord. It'll be all over Instagram. It'll be pretty awesome. So it'll be cool to do. Potentially at I won't give away the secrets yet, but just keep your ears out because if you're at Magic Round, I'll definitely see you there, and you definitely won't be able to miss my bald head. Super easy to spot me. Anyway, guys, Saturday's good, by the way. Saturday's the big day. But guys, thank you for jumping on. I'll see you guys in the next one. For everyone who didn't get their team reviewed, I'll jump into it in Discord. You'll get a written review later. It usually comes through sort of closer to 11 p.m. So that will come through there. Otherwise, if you haven't joined, guys, the Discord is sick. Like, even if you're not in the upgraded section, there's plenty of channels that are a lot of fun. There's like 2,500 people in there. So trade talk is fantastic. A lot of chat about trades. Everyone's just talking, opinions. Injury chat always has updates. So, people can ask questions. If you're not sure about what things are, you can just ask those questions. And the live game chats are really fun too. So these go off, right? Like, look at these. Friday night footy, nearly 4,000 matches. Saturday was another nearly 4,000. Sunday, another 4,000. Monday even got nearly 3,000 messages. And these channels just go off. Heaps of chat during the game. So great place to hang out if you're a fantasy coach. Link is in the description of this video. Thank you, guys. Hopefully it was a good one. Hopefully my reception was semi-decent. I will be back in some normal reception next week. So I won't be fragmenting around the screen as much next week. But love doing this with you guys. Peace out. Good luck this week. Let's all fly up those ranks and let's crush it through the origin period. Good luck, guys.